I would have continued a relationship to work with Jay-Z if I cared about money. But see, I made it very clear, I am loyal to a fault.
And then they lied and said that I was trying to commit suicide live online with a knife and sent the police to my door. Integrity.
Wow.
Show up. The day of the raid, I got a lot of notifications. I got a lot of ads. I got a lot of mentions. I got a lot of phone calls. Or as many as I could get, because I had to change my phone number again because, you know, they did the bomb threat. And then they lied and said that I was trying to commit suicide live online with a knife and sent the police to my door.
What's that you're showing? These
are the police cards.
Oh, wow.
Of my address that was doxed by Patrice Garner, Chatty Patty.
Wow.
For a bunch of crazy motherfuckers to come to where I live.
So Jaguar has revealed that her life is in danger, and I don't think anyone is surprised. She has been on a crusade to expose the darkness within the music industry like nobody's business, and that has put a target on her back. Well, no shocker there, because if there's one thing about the powers that be, they do not like it when someone airs their dirty laundry for everyone to see. It's a dangerous game, and Jaguar has been feeling the heat. Attacks on herself, her family, her friends. It's been relentless, and it hit rock bottom with the tragedy of her son in 2018. That's the kind of pain you wouldn't wish on anyone. Things got so intense that she had to go into hiding for a year on one occasion. Yep, just disappeared to stay safe. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you see in movies, but damn, that's a long time away from everything you know just because you're speaking up. She's been fighting the good fight, and she deserves our support. So buckle up as we break it down and send some good vibes her way for her bravery. I think I speak for everyone when I say we are all big fans of Jaguar Wright. She has earned a strong following because of her reputation for fearlessly voicing her opinions, how bold she is in speaking the truth, unafraid of the consequences, even if it means risking her life to put a message across. Her candidness is admired, particularly when addressing issues within the music industry. So we all know she speaks the truth because we have numerous lawsuits to back up her claims, and she isn't scared to voice her opinions publicly against very powerful people, especially when it comes to criticizing someone like Diddy and Jay-Z. Jaguar is as real as it gets, with no fluff here and there, and it is refreshing to have someone in her position provide such insights without sugarcoating anything and saying it as it is. And being someone who used to hang with these people, you know for a fact she has all the behind-the-scenes details that they do not want us to know.
Right, I go to Diddy parties to walk out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
She has made it her mission to warn us about Diddy's reputation in the industry and has raised concerns about certain practices in the entertainment industry that will just blow your mind. She doesn't shy away from discussing the controversies surrounding figures like Diddy's attempts to force young girls into performing questionable acts for Hollywood elites, manipulating young artists under his label Bad Boy Entertainment for years, which has been corroborated by artists who worked with him. This kind of openness that she contributes to the conversation about the treatment and experiences of young artists in the industry is very important and commendable.
What makes you so vocal? Like,
I'm tired.
He just
I just want to skip to the end. All this shit is fucked up. All you is weird. Go to jail and let's move on and let Generation Z make their own problems, make their own choices. These kids are living the consequences of what Gen X did and don't even know why they're doing it because everyone's lying.
Now, I'm sure when you hear the name Jaguar Wright, your mind immediately jumps straight into those exposing videos she dropped on big names like Diddy, Jay-Z, Clive Davis, and other powerful industry players, specifically in the music industry. But there's more to her story. Jaguar is not just a whistleblower. She is also a singer, songwriter, and backup vocalist who has been around for a very long time. She has shared the stage and studio with some of the biggest names in the music industry. Heavy hitters like Jay-Z, Diddy, Terry Lynn Carrington, Jill Scott, Betty Wright, The Roots, and the list goes on. She has literally worked with everyone, and we say all this to emphasize that she really is a force to reckon with. She's been everywhere, and she's seen it all, which makes her revelations all the more explosive. I mean, if you work closely with these influential industry players, you get a front row seat to all the shady and dirty business that goes on behind the scenes.
Have we seen the last, or is this just the beginning of that saga?
It's just getting started.
Oof.
Which is why I think people are so uncomfortable about me being in this position right now because of my press pass and because I'm gonna be in the courtroom for the Keffe D trial.
According to Jaguar Wright, people like Diddy are aware of her extensive knowledge about certain undisclosed matters within the industry. She knows the dirty secrets and shady business, which she believes makes her a concern for him. Wright alleges that, as a consequence, she perceives herself to be at risk. She's been publicly deemed as Diddy's enemy, citing what she describes as a hit list, a term she uses metaphorically to refer to those she feels have been marginalized for speaking out, particularly against Diddy.
Stop putting your dirty work on other people. You know exactly what you are, and so help me God if you don't keep my name out your mouth.
In addition to Wright's concern for her safety, her remarks have become increasingly significant as Casey Ventura initiated legal proceedings against Diddy. This move by Ventura might add a layer of credibility to Wright's previous statements. Throughout her allegations, Jaguar Wright made several serious claims, including that Diddy is involved in activities that are both morally and legally questionable, such as sex trafficking, and is essentially a puppet of the Hollywood elite. Wright has made statements suggesting that her views on Diddy are consistent with the negative descriptions, similar to those alleged in Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. In addition to Wright's allegations, sources close to Diddy are corroborating her serious accusations against him. She implies that these developments could potentially have a significant impact on Diddy's career trajectory. Despite the potential risk to her own safety, Wright claims that she has received warnings to refrain from sharing her claims publicly, which of course she does not care at all. The singer-songwriter has been in the news a lot lately for her shocking accusations made against some of the greatest personalities in the music business. She has dropped some very serious allegations against people like Jay-Z, Diddy, Common, Talib Kweli, and other influential people in the entertainment industry, exposing how they abuse their power to exploit people, especially up-and-coming artists in the industry. She also claims these people are abusive, with the abuse ranging from sexual to physical abuse. But among all these people, guess which ones are the most bothered? You got that right. Diddy and Jay-Z. This pair seem to be the ones most bothered by these allegations. I wonder why. It's like these people, Jay-Z and P. Diddy, do not want her to continue talking about the disgusting and shady business moves they've got going on behind the scenes. And according to Jaguar, it is so bad that they are apparently threatening to take her life. Yeah, you heard that right, as in unalive her just to protect themselves. And it is not just Jaguar whose life is in danger. Wright gave a vivid description of the discrepancies between the rapper's outward proclamation of love, positivity, and good vibes, things that he supposedly stands for. The themes Diddy present in his latest album, which is interestingly titled The Love Album, and the actual reality of his private behavior behind the scenes. According to Wright, there's much more happening behind the scenes that do not reflect the public persona Diddy claims to embody and pretends to be all about.
So you hear about stories of Diddy like shooting people, blowing up cars.
Yeah.
Is he this gangster that behind the scenes that is that him? Or is that people
Shout
running?
out to Wendy Williams, the first woman to uncover the homo thugs. That's what these down low bitches was called when Wendy first started talking about it in the 90s, the homo thug. She talking about Diddy.
In addition to Wright's claims, some individuals who claim to know Sean Diddy Combs very well and have personal knowledge of his questionable and shady dealings behind the scenes have come forward with accusations concerning his interactions with young musicians signed to his own label, Bad Boy Entertainment. They share troubling accounts of how Diddy exploits these young artists, further supporting the allegations that he misuses his position of power for personal gain, which includes claims of exploitation and taking advantage of them, as well as some very inappropriate behavior.
Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Stop what you're doing right now. Put your hands together.
Let's go!
Real life street stars. The original, the OG. The history maker.
These allegations also implicate his inner circle, with some accusing influential figures like T.D. Jakes. Now, for those of you who don't know him, Thomas Dexter Jakes, better known as T.D. Jakes, is an American non-denominational Christian pastor and motivational speaker. He is the senior pastor of the Potter's House, a non-denominational American megachurch in Dallas, Texas. He is described as the top aide for Diddy and having reportedly been in attendance at Diddy's so-called freak-off parties, where the most vile sexual acts are alleged to have occurred, with some saying it involves gay sex as well. So, due to this man's position and influence, you can understand why they would not want Jaguar Wright to come forward with certain information. I mean, the man is the head pastor of one of the biggest mega churches in the U.S.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming?
She hinted at concerning activities behind the scenes, particularly at the infamous freak-off parties Diddy is known for hosting. Wright also mentioned Diddy's connection to very questionable individuals who wield an uncomfortable amount of power. She continues to suggest that Diddy's involvement with these individuals in the industry is the reason he's been protected this long, avoiding repercussions for various allegations over the years. Which makes a lot of sense because we all know this is not Diddy's first rodeo with crime allegations. He's been getting away with numerous crimes for over 30 years now.
So let me ask you, when you hear that Cassie was told to hire male escorts to come in what they call freak-offs now.
Yeah.
Is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak-offs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody know that. I've been saying it.
Yeah.
How many times I got these is wild.
Going even further into the interview, she alleges his involvement in illegal activities and implies that he could even place his girlfriends in compromising situations. Wright claims that Diddy is heavily tied to trafficking and isn't above compromising the safety of his girlfriends to serve his own selfish interests. Despite Diddy's public image being linked to relationships with multiple women, Wright alleges that these are people close to him who have come forward to challenge the authenticity of his projected sexuality and preferences, suggesting that he may not be as he appears in terms of his sexuality and preferences, which is nothing new really, because we have all heard the rumor, and it's not like it's from one or two people, but a lot of people. And as the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. That silence is deafening. It lasted up until the whole Cassie situation when she filed a lawsuit against Diddy in which she accused him of some really serious stuff: sexual assault, abuse, and even sex trafficking. That's when Jaguar Wright's videos resurfaced online, in which she'd been hinting at this way before it all came to light. It's like Jaguar had the playbook, and now everyone's saying she might have been onto something all along.
And it's been a crazy year. But the reason why even right now, your old interview that you did last year is trending even crazier because you're almost like, not Nostradamus, but Nostradamus. What you have said, not only in our interview, but on your own personal lives.
Yeah. Which gets shadowed constantly.
Things start coming to fruition to where you targeted certain people in that interview, and now you're seeing, I don't want to even say downfall, but you're seeing that target that you put on people's backs.
I'm seeing integrity
show
up.
So, because they cannot legally stop her, because suing her means implicating themselves, they have decided to use alternative routes. And these routes are not just alternatives, but very dangerous to get rid of her. But she doesn't seem to care and is still granting a lot of interviews and going on Instagram Live to reveal more and more jaw-dropping details that are happening. The people whom she has revealed a lot of not so pretty information about include Jay-Z. Jaguar does not hold back when it comes to Mr. Sean Carter, calling him a piece of shit and a monster, and suggesting that he's controlling Beyonce with drugs. She even went so far as to suggest that Beyonce's fans need to do what Britney Spears fans did and kickstart a Free Beyonce movement, just like the Free Britney movement, because she believes Jay-Z is treating his wife like a prisoner.
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston. Why did that house burn up? Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames?
That was very weird. The next day, within a week?
And no, the next day.
The next day.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames.
Man.
I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that Astro World.
So, let me ask you.
Texas politics.
Yeah, Texas politics, man.
And of course, there's Diddy. Jaguar's accusations against Diddy then and now are nothing short of jaw-dropping. She was one of the first public figures to call out Diddy's sex trafficking ring, even before any of his lawsuits started to come out. Among her many assertions, Wright claims that Diddy had a secret relationship with singer and actor Christopher Williams, and that he was even responsible for the tragic death of the notorious B.I.G. She has even gone so far as to reveal how Diddy takes advantage of up-and-coming musicians. In his inner circles, for example, he is sometimes accused of misusing his power and position of influence as the owner of Bad Boy Entertainment. His top aide, T.D. Jakes, is also said to have been present at almost all of these parties where predators prey, as confirmed by many witnesses. According to Wright, Diddy is a master manipulator who uses his connections and power to influence people's decisions in both their personal and professional lives. She's even named names like Justin Bieber, Aubrey O'Day, and Usher, suggesting they've been blackballed by Diddy after falling out with him.
In fact, it asked me to not be able to have access to my story and my experience anymore. It asked me specifically to stay silent and never speak poorly about a human.
After making all these allegations, it then comes as no surprise that Diddy now sees her as a threat. She claims that he's chasing everything she owns. According to Wright, Sean Diddy Combs has made her his target to the point where she's had to go into hiding at times when the heat gets too intense. So now that Diddy believes she let the feds and Homeland Security right to his doorstep, the stakes are higher than ever, and you can only imagine the grave danger she is in right now. This sounds like an episode straight out of NCS, and it's got us all wondering what's going to happen next. Prior to that, Jaguar claimed to have been offered money to stop talking, which she refused. Money was offered to silence her voice, but she is not motivated by financial gain. Otherwise, she would have kept her mouth shut and would still be in cahoots with Diddy and Jay-Z. She is also very selective and strategic about the places she goes for interviews because her eyes are always on the prize, which is justice and justice alone.
Everybody trying to figure out how to pay me off to shut me up because they think money gonna shut me up, and money ain't gonna shut me up. I don't give no about money. If I gave a about money, I would have continued a relationship to work with Jay-Z.
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is you. And the boss's boss don't get no. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in.
Since Jaguar Wright decided not to take the hush money, the stakes rose, and her personal life as well as that of her family and friends were targeted.